message to you. I have to warn you that my sermon contains violence against women, so if you need to not be here in the sanctuary to preserve yourself, please do so. I had another sermon prepared for tonight. It talked about dreams, night, light, solstice, and hope. But on Thursday morning, while I was having breakfast and watching the news, it all went away. That was not my message anymore. My fierce feminist self, who is more dormant since I arrived in this country, was suddenly awakened. According to a study from the Cambridge Rape Crisis Center, published in 4th of June 2024, across England and Wales, 1 in 4 women have been subjected to some form of sexual violence since the age of 16. 798,000 women are raped or sexually assaulted every year. That is 1 in 30 women. 1 in 2 rapes against women are carried out by their partner or ex-partner. 5 in 6 rapes against women are carried out by someone they know. However, 5 in 6 women who are raped don't report it to the police because they are frightened and ashamed. As we all followed this week, Gisèle Pellicot, 72 years old French woman, mother, grandmother, was drugged and abused and offered to other men for more than a decade in her bed, in her room, while she was unconscious and unaware by her husband. She only found out what was happening to her because he was arrested for skirt lifting at a local market, and investigators found the recordings of his horrible abuse in his computer. The 50 men sentenced of rape and assault, alongside her now ex-husband, are aged between 26 and 74. They include a nurse, a journalist, a prison warden, a counselor, a soldier, lorry drivers, farm workers, everyday men. Gisèle decided to waive her anonymity and throw this trial into the open. In her words, making shame swap sides, from the victim to the rapist. As I tried to sink this horrible story in, this week's parasha came to my mind. From there, the disconnected story of Tamar began to shine and intertwine with the daily news. In this small story, inserted in the middle of Joseph's dreams stories, we are told that Judah gets married and has 3 sons. Judah finds a wife to his first son, Tamar. However, her husband dies, leaving her widowed without children. Judah says to his second son, Bo el eshet achicha veyachem ota. Translated as, couple with your brother's widow and unite with her, so that she would have a child. However, the second husband also dies, and Tamar again left out with children. Judah tells her to go back to her father's house and wait until his third son is grown up, because it was his responsibility to marry her. But Judah was afraid of losing yet another son, blaming Tamar for the deaths of his 2 other sons. Time passed, and Judah, already a widow himself, travels to the city where Tamar lives. She knows he does not intend to marry her with his 3rd son, so she takes her destiny on her hands. She disguises herself and waits for Judah at the gates of the city. He believes that she is a prostitute and hires her, giving her his signet, seal, his cord, and his staff as pledges for a future payment. Vayavo elecha vatahar lo, and he coupled with her, and she became pregnant by him. When he receives the news that Tamar is pregnant, he gets furious, thinking that she betrayed the honor of his family, and brings her to be punished. However, by her arrival, she proves that Judah is the father of her children, and he understands that she was the right one. 2 aspects connected those 2 stories in my mind. The first one is the Hebrew verb used in Torah to describe what the women's Torah translated as coupled. It is not the usual verb yada, which literally means to know, but an unusual bo. According to BDB Hebrew Dictionary, the verb bo means to go in, to enter, to come, to go, to come in. Together with the preposition al, as it appears in our text, it means to come upon, to fall upon, to attack an enemy. There is power and violence implicit in the verb used to describe both the second husband and Judah coupling with Tamar. On the other hand, Tamar, understanding her situation and the reality in which she lives, acts to change her story. From the discarded and forgotten widow, she becomes the righteous mother of twins. The connections between Tamar and Giselle are the violence and the objectification that both of them suffered. More than that, their connection lays in the decision of not staying ashamed, but holding their heads up high and changing their stories. They are both examples of courage to face a patriarchal system that insists on staying alive from biblical times to our days. Giselle was included on BBC's 2024 list of 100 women and was cited as one of the 25th most influential women of 2024 by the Financial Times because she decided to go public, be an example, and inspire sexual crimes victims that their abusers should be the ones to be ashamed, not their victims. Going back to my previous sermon, tomorrow is the darkest day of the Northern Hemisphere, and we approach Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, and then light begins to come back. After so much pain, I want us to leave this sanctuary looking for light and hope, believing in better days. From Tamar to Giselle, a lot has changed for women in this world, for better. However, there is still a lot of work to be done for women to live safely in this world. This work began with brave women who fought in the past for themselves and for other women. As a woman, a lawyer, a chef, and almost a rabbi, myself, I need to thank all women who, like our own Rabbi Alex, made this path a better one for me to cross. To all women who fought and are still fighting, with all my heart, I thank everyone. Merci, mesdames. Shabbat shalom.